Hi guys, today we'd like to present the Goldilocks Bear Bag. This is our heat pack that we designed using magnesium sulfate. It's warm like bear, and that's why we call it the Goldilocks bag.
Okay, now to talk a little bit about the procedure that we took to make this project possible. First, we had to grab the proper materials, which was the salt we chose, magnesium sulfate, a Sparks tablet with the probe that helps us measure the temperature, a scale weight, some distilled water, a graduated cylinder, and the bag of our choice, which was the foil bag. The first step was to set up the Sparks machine, like we learned in week one, and we measure out the amount of magnesium sulfate we wanted to use, which in this point it was about 4 grams. And besides, we also grabbed about 65.61 milliliters of distilled water in the 100 milliliter graduate cylinder. Once we had this, the first step was to insert the distilled water in the bag and insert the probe. We had to make sure that the bag is closed, and we had to let the probe sit approximately 1 minute before inserting magnesium sulfite. Now, afterwards, we had to grab the 4 grams of magnesium sulfate we had and insert it in the foil bag with the probe. Now we had to mix the solution and wait approximately a minute to obtain max temperature produced. And once everything was inside, we had to wait until the heat plateaus, like 5 minutes with Sparks probe to obtain the average temperature and see how long the temperature lasts in its max capacity. After we got all the data, the next thing was to get disposed of all the materials in the proper waste container, which are found in the chem lab, and wash the equipments we use, like the cylinder, the probe, and the reusable bag. And after that, it was all data. We had to calculate the changes in temperature and then the amount of time that the heat was at its max capacity, and determine how long it would last and the effects it would have.
Yeah, so we chose the magnesium sulfate after all of our tests because it produced the longest amount of heat, ranging around 5 minutes, as well as with the most increased in temperature, but not a maximum temperature that would harm a human hand. So we chose that because it lasted about 5 minutes and had a max temp of about 33 degrees, which would warm your hand just enough to keep it warm, where your hand's not like burning and your hand's not too cold. This is why we called it the Goldilocks because it's just right for temperature. We also use the foil bag, like Derek mentioned, because it's a non-toxic, BPA-free, durable, recyclable material and is food grade approved. These bags go for $12.99 for a set of five, but you can reuse them. As well as the cost for magnesium sulfate was $15 for 226 grams. We are assuming that we could get the water for free, and the total cost of making these packs would be $28 for 5 packs, but then they are reusable, so you could have them be used multiple times. Our testing overall produced a mid-range heat increase for substantial amount of time, like a substantial amount of time, giving us this Goldilocks effect. So it's an exothermic reaction which releases heat, which means the heat being released by the experiment will go into your hand and warm your hand. In the end, this is why we hope you like our product because it's warm like a bear and we hope you buy it. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe this winter.